Hey guys, what's going on? This would be episode 11 of the Chevy 3100 build, but this video just gonna be a quick video on me rebuilding the vent windows. As you can see, they're drying right now from paint. I don't claim to be a professional painter, so they're not the best, but needed to be painted. They were rusted, so I threw them in the sandblaster, painted them real quick with some Rust-Oleum. So just semi-gloss black. But I should have filmed the disassemble, but I wasn't even thinking about it. But to take mine apart, I had to use some chisels, some hammers. I had to definitely use some heat. I have all the parts in here. To get the windows out, I used the torch, heated it up, grabbed a razor blade and went around, and then just worked my way around on both sides and was able to pry it out. But if yours is anything like mine, the stud, the lower pivot point, broke on mine when I was trying to get it off. So I'm gonna have to rebuild this part because I can't figure out anywhere that they sell it. So I got a 5/16, 2.5 inches long bolt. It looks like it'll make that up. So what I'm gonna do is probably just cut the head off, and I'll probably drill a hole right here and just spot weld it in, and then maybe a couple welds around it, grind it down. But I don't know if I'm gonna flatten out the sides like this one was. These were the washers that were on it, if you can see that. Their sides are flat, so don't know if I'm gonna do that yet, but I have all the weather stripping in here, and then the replacement windows down there. So I do have everything to do it. So once that paint dries, I'll get more clips of me doing the assembly and probably fixing that little pivot point down there. I do have to buy the rivets for it, but other than that, I have everything. So I'll film everything once I start putting it back together. All right, so right now, while I had the paint drying on the vent window frames, I'm starting to replace this. I drilled a hole, or a little bit of a hole in the back, and then I'm gonna cut that off right here, and then cut the head off of the 5/16 bolt, and then I got marks on each side so I can get it centered where it was, and then I gotta figure out a way to keep it up there. Probably a magnet right there. I don't know how well it'll hold, but just need something to hold it up while I tack weld it in that one spot first. So I actually decided, after I cut this off, I drilled that hole, and then I tried to make a little, if it focuses, a little stud on top of that, the bolt, to get that to sit down on that like that. So now if I could just hold this level while I hit a quick weld in there, it might get that a little better. And then I'll just hit some welds in this little groove right here all the way around. And then I'll just grind it somewhat smooth as I can, and then test fit it. So I think my plan on that worked pretty well. So now I'm gonna grab a Dremel, grind this down a little bit, make it more of a 90-degree right there, and then I'll test fit it in the vent. So I gotta grind it as much as possible. I don't want to cut into it. It's not gonna be perfect, but it's all gonna be hidden, but it does fit pretty good. So now I'm gonna paint this top part, tape that off because that's stainless steel, so I'm just gonna leave that like that. But I'm gonna paint this, and then I just have to rivet it in with those two holes right there, and then this one will be all set. So I just have to do the other one for the other side, and then I will have that all done. All right, just finished up the second one. Didn't turn out as good as the first one, but all this is going to be hidden, so not too worried about it. I have this one painted, just letting that dry. All that stuff's probably almost dry by now, but I just have to paint this one, and then I'll be assembling it. So all right, it's actually a couple days later from that last clip, but I just realized, don't make the same mistake I did. These rivets right here there's a little plate going across there, which is actually on the back of the weather stripping. This is precision weather stripping, but so make sure you pop those rivets off and then put this piece on and then re-rivet it all down, because I did not do that. Now I have to pop all those rivets back off, get that piece off, and then put the new one back in. Probably gonna have to repaint it after, but don't make the same mistake I did. So all right, so I just received my rivet set. Comes with all the rivets necessary to rebuild this. I got it on Classic Parts of America. I'm still waiting on the what's it called, that rubber that goes in here. I know the name of it, can't think of it right now, but I'm still waiting on that. It comes in later this week, but today I'm gonna get all the rivets and stuff in so I can at least move it around while I wait for that stuff. So all right, so those rivets I got, they were not working. It's just wasn't working. It keeps breaking and stuff. So I bought a 25 pack of these 1/8" rivets, pop rivets. So I'm gonna try those. Hopefully it works a lot better. It's definitely gonna be easier than trying to hammer it in, because that wasn't working very well. So those pop rivets definitely work a lot better. I still am gonna have to go through with a punch and probably hit those flat, because it didn't completely get it, but definitely worked a lot better than the other ones. So all right, jumping ahead a little bit on the passenger side, I actually have it done. I was messing around with a couple different ways, but got the weather stripping all in, got the pin in, everything's done on this side. On the driver's side, I have the pivot rivet in and everything. All of this is all done. I just have to put the glass in. So the best method I found is grab your glass setting tape. This is 1/8" thick, I believe. It might say it. No, it doesn't say right there. All right, so 1/8" thick glass setting tape, and I just used some Dawn dish soap and rubbed it on the outside, and then I put the vent window in the door, because it's a lot easier than trying to do it out of the door, just because it all moves around and everything. So put it in the door so it can stay stationary, and then rub the soap on the outside of the setting tape, and then I pushed in the bottom first. Do the bottom first, because when I tried to push it in evenly, the top kept getting caught and it kept ripping the setting tape. So push it in kind of straight, and then push down first. Make sure this goes all the way down and hits the bottom, and then try and squeeze it towards the top and get it all nice and even in there. So I got my glass here, and to get the size, I just wrapped it around. I'll set the phone up and do it real quick. So I just wrapped it around and cut it to length like this. Just use a few scissors, so cuts easy. And then let me show you on the corner what I do. So you're gonna notice on the corner down here, it's not gonna fold if you try and do that. So what I did, again, this is what I did. This isn't probably not saying this is the most effective way, but I folded it like this, pinched it, and then cut that little, you can see the little flap right there. Cut that, and then you got a better angle on that, and then you want to do the same on the other side. Now, it's not gonna be perfect, but it doesn't bend there, so that's just my method. Same on this side. So now you got it like that, and then just gonna go all the way down and bend it through. And then, like I said, you want to put the Dawn dish soap, just rub it all on the outside, and then push the bottom in first. I'll show you guys that in a second. All right, so I got it started. As you can see, I pushed down first. Want to get that all the way down, set in that little corner, and then push it that way. So I'm gonna do that now. All right, you gotta be really careful with this because it just happened to me. My setting tape started to rip right there and right there. So I'm gonna have to pull this out and redo all this. Luckily I got the whole roll, so I'm gonna redo this. Having the whole roll of the setting tape is definitely useful because I've been through about 4 strips just on the first one, just trial and error, testing different methods. So definitely recommend getting the roll. All right, it seems to me like I got it in, but I'm gonna test that by cutting off this excess and this excess, and then try closing it because it doesn't close right now with that hanging off. So I'm gonna do that real quick, try and close it, and then if it's right, I'm gonna then cut the excess off around here. But if not, I'm gonna have to try and force it in a little bit more. All right, so as you can see, it does close, seals pretty nice. So now what I'm gonna do is I grabbed on the other side, again, not a professional, probably don't know what I'm doing, but I just grabbed a razor blade and really lightly, don't push too hard because you don't want to scratch your tint. Really lightly, it cuts really easy. Just glide it across and cut the excess off around this on both sides. And then you're basically done. You just let the soap all dry up and you're good. And probably want to clean the windows too after that, but then boom, it's in. So I'll show you guys what it looks like after I cut the excess. All right, got the excess all cut off over there, but as you can see, turned out pretty good. Now Not saying this is the best way to do it, but this is how I did it, and it turned out pretty good. So if you know a better way, please let me know. But thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and go follow my Instagram down in the description. I'll also leave a link to the glass setting tape for you guys down in the description. But that's about it. That's all I got. Opens and closes good, so just have to clean it after, but turned out good. So thanks.